I'm back, and this time I bring you a massive book haul that involves the Spanish National Book Day and also the biggest book fair of Spain, which means that I bought a lot of books. The 23rd of April is the Spanish National Book Day, and I decided to go on a book hunt. And I bought Netherware by Neil Gaiman. This book is very, very known in Neil Gaiman, between Neil Gaiman works, but for Spanish speakers, for a really long time, we didn't have an actual copy of this book in stores. So recently, this book was re-edited, and we have a personalized prologue written by the author for the Spanish viewers, well, Spanish readers, sorry. So I have my copy in Spanish of Neverwhere. Also, I listened to the BBC dramatization of the book, and I think it is phenomenal. But I really want to read the book as well. Later that day, I bought El tiempo es el que es by Ana Ishaf y Javier Pascual, which are the scriptwriters of the TV show El Ministerio del Tiempo, which is like a ministry of the Spanish government that actually travels in time to fix events, historical events that may be changed for bad in this case, if the story doesn't continue as it should. And although I will talk about the book fair in a while, I managed to go to the book fair and speak to the writers. This is the script writers as well. And if I can show it to you, I have my book signed. Let me just, yeah. So, although I will spoke about it later, here you have. I'm not sure if you can watch it. My signed copy of the book here. I also had the chance to pick up 13 Stories of Ghosts by Henry James. In this case, it's a Spanish edition, a very nice, expensive Spanish edition, but I regret nothing. That includes a turning of the screw, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sorry, I don't normally say this title in English, so I probably said it wrong. But I really like it. It has its own bookmark over here, and I love it. I really want to spend a night reading this and trying to get scared. Let's leave this here. Also, as you may know already, I'm working in a publisher company for some months in an internship, and it's actually one of my favorite publishing companies here in Spain. I'm working in the children and YA section, and because it was the book fair, or the beginning of the book fair, during the first day, they gave free books, like they gave away of Laura Gallegos books, which is Laura Gallegos here. She's one of my favorite YA authors here in Spain, and this book is a limited edition of Donde los árboles cantan, or Where the trees sing. I think there's no a translation into English yet, but I really hope there's going to be one, so you can read it because it's beautiful. I already have the normal edition, but this is like the limited edition, and I love it. And let's leave this here. And they also give me this essay book format called Soy Dunita. I'm from Idun. I would love to translate it. It's my translation, so sorry if I'm making some kind of personal choices. This book is an essay book about a trilogy of Laura Gallegos' most famous trilogy, which is called Memorias de Idun, fantasy trilogy based on this planet, but I love this book because it tells you how she created this trilogy that is very famous for over here, and I love it. I really love it. So the most important Spanish book fair, it's set always in the Retiro Park, which is like Hyde Park or Central Park over here in Madrid, and it's always a huge, uh, huge amount of different booksellers and publisher companies selling cheaper books that are actually maybe the most famous of the year or the most recent. So the important thing about the book fair is that instead of BA being like only a weekend or something like that, we have 3 weeks of cheaper books, signings, and stuff like that. So all the books I'm going to show here are probably very known already to you, because over here in Spain we normally publish the books that are in English, we publish them translated into Spanish, and it takes longer than for you when the book comes out, or when the book comes out, sorry. So I'm going to show you the Spanish edition of Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This comes with a dust jacket that imitates the wood over here, like the big tree here. But I'm reading it at the moment as part of my Tom Tropple, and I'm doing it really, really bad because I haven't even read all the things I wanted to read. But this is our version of it, and it's called Un Cuento Oscuro, like a dark tale instead of Uprooted. But I'm really enjoying it so far. But I have more books to show you. I also got Malas Tierras by Jordi Sierra y Fabra. Nadie al otro lado, also by Jordi Sierra y Fabra. And Campos de Fresas by Jordi Sierra y Fabra. Jordi Sierra y Fabra is a very important Spanish author. He's actually from Catalonia, and he is a very important YA author. He always treats sensitive topics. I don't know, for example, Campos de Fresas that I showed you before, which is this one. It deals with drugs and teenagers. This, I think, treats with car accidents. And this treats with abusive relationships. He is a very nice person. I had the chance of meeting him this year. Again, I normally meet him every year. He comes to sign at the book fair, and he's a really nice guy. He published a lot of books, and I'm not sure if you can find it in English, but it will be a great read if you're in high school. It's very, very centered in YA topics or sensitive issues. And I got a free copy of Sobre Fondo Azul by Sara Cruces Salguero, which is who is the winner of the Jordi Sierra y Fabra Literary Award. This author I mentioned before, he created an association for younger writers. Actually, teenagers that want to be writers. So he has this award that he gives to, I think it's children from, or teenagers from 14 to 17. This girl was like 17 years old, and she was really, really nice. This book is about a swimmer that has a very, very severe injury while swimming, so he has to get better and understand that maybe swimming is not all, while trying to adjust his new life and understand swimming in a different point, or from a different point of view. So I'm really glad that she won, because it seems a very interesting topic about readjusting your goals and go for them. So I think it will be a funny read for the summer. But hold on, I have more books. Going back to the books that I'm sure you already know, this is the Spanish edition of for from the darkness shown the stars by Diana Bedford. I'm sure that I'm pronouncing it wrong. This book, I saw this book in some channel in Thoughts on Toms. So this book is a like futuristic persuasion retelling, and I really love the cover. I really want to read what it's about. In this case, it's published by Off Editorial, which is a Spanish publishing company, and I'm really glad they published it because I really wanted to have it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So it's a really nice chance to buy this one in the book fair. I also bought Inkspell, that I'm not sure if you can watch it, see it from there. Inkspell, the Spanish edition of Inkspell, and because Cornelia Funk came to actually sign in the book fair, I couldn't resist it. And I met her, and she, lovely Cornelia, she signed the book for me with a little Wen drawing on the top of my name. So I'm very pleased because she didn't know, and until a few days later, she didn't realize that Wen is one of my favorite characters. So here we have it. And I couldn't help myself. I think you already know that I love the Winner's Curse, and I got my hands very, very busy with the Winner's Crime by Mary Rukowski. I haven't started yet, but I really want to see what happens with Kestrel and Arin after what happened in the first book ending, which was a massive cliffhanger. I found the Spanish copy of In Real Life by Cory Doctorow Yen Wang, and I saw this, I think it was in Victoria Schwartz channel. This is about gaming and like different part of the world's realities, and how the richness of the world is not divided as it should. And I really want to give it a try because I normally don't read comics books, so this will be like my first attempt. I am also a classic lover, so I picked up Anna Karenina by Lev Tolstoy, and this edition is edited by Penguin Classics in the Penguin Random House Publishing Company, and I love it, although the cover is a little bit intriguing, and I'm not sure if I'm happy with the position of the body of the woman. I feel a little bit, it's a little bit unsettling, but I really hope this offer or covers all the expectations I have on this classic. I'm making a huge towel out of this pile of books that I'm creating. I hope they don't fall. This copy that I'm holding is one of the recent books of Stephen Greenblatt. In this case, is Will in the World, a biography of the Bard, the writer of Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Much Ado About Nothing. In this biography, according to the bookseller that came to me with this book, he said that it's a biography written like a novel, and in the end you have this feeling of being with the author himself, having a pint of beer in a tavern, and I really like Shakespeare, so I decided to give it a go. It's a little bit of a chunky book, but I hope I can read it. I got for free after participating in a blogger and also YouTuber kind of experience. I got for free a Bollywood Affair by Sonali Dev, and I think it's a love story in India that involves a very, very upfront woman and a curious director of Bollywood. I don't know much about this story, but I prefer it like that because I want to be surprised. And I got this, finally, Illuminate the Illuminate files are in my shelves. I know that for you all, this book has all the hype, but it's very, very new in Spain. So I got one of the copies from the publisher company, and it's my next book. After I approved it, I really want to give it a go. A lot of the booktubers I follow, I don't know, Kat from Catitastic, Cass from The Little Book Owl, Sam from Thoughts on Toms, Victoria from Victoria Schwab, Ashley from said the Story, everyone and the mother read it. So I want to jump into this little one and enjoy it. Really, I really want to. So this is my future, most recent future read. Later I got Los días que nos separan. This book is by Laia Soler, a Spanish author, and it's a quite strange book. I don't know a lot about it, but so far from what I can read from the back, it's a story of April, a girl that mysteriously um, jumps into a boy in a library, and they met, and then she starts having dreams with this guy, but the dreams are quite vivid, and she is not it's not like a dream in the 21st century. It's a dream set in centuries back, so I think it has to do with past lives or parallel realities. I'm not sure, but I love the cover. I love that kind of parallel reality flair to it. So let's see how this develops. I have more books. This is the beginning of a trilogy, and it's called The Map of Time, El Mapa del Tiempo, and it's written by Felix J. Palma. This book is set in the 18th century, and it involves travels in time that I don't know how Jack the Ripper gets involved. So everything gets a little bit darker from it. I think he's able to travel from his time to our time, if I am not mistaken. But again, I don't know a lot about it because this book was in my list for a really, really long time. So I want to jump straight to it without knowing anything at all and let it surprise me. This tiny book over here that you cannot see over here, it's Lavinia by Ursula K. Le Guin. I know that I'm probably butchering her name. I know that Ursula is known for the fantasy and science fiction stories, but this is a historical novel that I really, really wanted to read. As far as I know, the author herself has said that this is probably her last novel because she's very, very old and she doesn't think she has the energy enough to write another novel. So I'm really glad that I pick up like a non-typical book from her. So I will tell you everything as soon as I can get it. This is the last book I want to show you today, and it's Carmilla or Carmilla, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, and it's a illustrated fairy tale or tale that it's about vampires, and I think it's quite creepy, but I really like it, and I don't know if I can show you, but I fell in love with it because of the drawings that it has. Let me see here. Apart from being a very, very big book, it has beautiful drawings. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I love it. And I thought, okay, why not? This again wasn't in the original list, but it caught my eye. So that's all for today. I hope you really like it. I hope this video doesn't seem too long for you. And as I'm very new at most of these books that are very, very hyped in the booktube community, especially the English booktube community, Please tell me which book do you think I should read first as soon as I wrote it. If you want any specific review or any specific comments on any of the books I saw before, you can write it there. You can give me a like. You can subscribe if you fancy. You can follow me on my social media. But the most important thing to me is that you tell me what do you think. What do you think of the books I have already shown here? I really want to know your opinion because I know that most of you have already read mainly all the books I mentioned here that I'm from abroad. So I want to know your thoughts. Please don't make spoilers. I don't want spoilers. Goodbye.